From the Hussman School of Journalism and Media at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, covering the full range of Tar Heel athletics. This is Sports Extra.
Although the Yankees and Dodgers stole the national spotlight in the World Series, Carolina athletics took the local spotlight by storm.
UNC basketball looks to be carrying the momentum into this season after earning a 1 seed in NCAAs last year, and field hockey shuts out 2 top 10 ACC opponents. Good morning and welcome to Sports Extra. I'm Hunter Caparelli.
And I'm Kyle Lobenhofer. Thanks for joining us. But before we get into basketball, let's start with the gridiron. The UNC football team took on UVA on Saturday, looking to turn the tide on their 4-game losing streak. The Heels had a dominant first half in Charlottesville, getting things started early with a touchdown from J.J. Jones, who made some nifty moves to get away from defenders for the 40-yard touchdown run. Carolina finished the first quarter up 7-3. 5 first-half sacks by UNC allowed the offense to go to work, taking the lead by 11 after this strong inside rush from Amarion Hampton. And in the final 9 seconds of the half, quarterback Jacoby Criswell launched a 31-yard touchdown pass to Jones, who made an incredible snag and kept 1 foot in bounds for yet another touchdown. Heels enter the half up 24-6. The Heels came back hungry in the third with a Kamen Rucker interception that set Carolina up for another Hampton touchdown rush. Carolina kept the magic going in the final 30 seconds of the third with a pick 6 from big man defensive lineman Javari Ritzy, who might have needed a little oxygen by the time he crossed the goal line. Heels win 41-14. While the majority of Tar Heels are homegrown, UNC football has tapped into talent pools nationwide, including Georgia, a state renowned for its football excellence. Reporter Nia Satterfield-Brown sat down with 4 Georgia-bred players to explore the unique football culture of their home state.
The heart of UNC's football team might beat with North Carolina pride, but its lifeblood flows from across the country, including Georgia. The sport's popularity is deeply rooted in a combination of pride, athletic prowess, and tradition, with high school games being the centerpiece of the community.
We all believe that Georgia has the best high school sports, especially football. So, growing up in Georgia was a great experience,
I feel like we top 3 for football in the nation. Our culture, everybody competes, especially in places like Cobb, Marietta, and Gwinnett. It's all the 5-star talents, 4-star talents are in there.
The Peach State has produced 2 of the past 3 #1 overall recruits in Travis Hunter in 2022 and Dylan Raiola in 2024, establishing itself as a new gold standard with some of the best high school players in the country. Ty White, who played at Buford High, a team currently ranked 2nd in the state, described the culture of Georgia football.
Physical, tough, straight to the point, straight football, football or nothing kind of type thing.
Football serves as a pathway for young athletes to pursue higher education and potential professional careers, further cementing its importance in the state's social fabric. Dual sport athlete Caleb Coss attended the powerhouse program Sandy Creek, noting that Friday night games were like the battlefield, with everyone fighting for something bigger than themselves.
Georgia football is different just based off the toughness. I'm just going to keep living off that word because I haven't really seen any ball like that anywhere else.
For these guys, playing football is a means for a more stable future.
Oh, it's definitely my family. I'm trying to get to a position where they don't got to worry about nothing, and I'm just having fun while playing the game.
I'm Nia Satterfield-Brown reporting.
These guys brought out their inner dog on Saturday to help UNC's defense to its best game of the season so far.
Well, Hunter, like you said, best game of the season so far, snapping a 4-game losing streak, winning 41-14. If you're Mack Brown and the Carolina Tar Heels, how do you continue on this momentum, hopefully ending the season on a high note with 4 games left in the season?
Yeah, Kyle, I believe it starts with the defense. On Saturday, the Heels recorded 10 sacks against Virginia, the most sacks Carolina's had in a game since 2000. So if Jeff Collins can continue drawing up coverages to get pressure on opposing quarterbacks, I think UNC has a great chance to secure a bowl game this year.
Well, you mentioned the defense, but you can't forget the offense. 41 points scored against the Cavalier defense. Omarion Hampton, best running back in the ACC, maybe even the country, 2 rushing touchdowns. J.J. Jones, wide receiver, 2 receiving touchdowns himself. You can't sleep on that offense, and if the defense and offense keep going like this, could be bowl game bound.
I completely agree. And the men's soccer team looked to earn a spot in the win column against number 7 Stanford on Sunday night. The Heels had an opportunity to score in the 15th minute with this free kick by junior Sam Williams, but Williams could not capitalize. Finally, freshman Bertil Hansen gave the Heels a 1-score lead after forcing a Stanford turnover. After the half, senior Luke Hilly scored the Heels' 2nd goal of the night, assisted by senior Andrew Check's chip to the back post. The Cardinals scored in the final minutes of play, but it was not enough. The Tar Heels improved to 9 wins on the season as they beat Stanford 2-1. And on Friday, the number 4 women's soccer team faced number 17 Florida State in Tallahassee at the Seminole Soccer Complex. The Seminoles scored the first goal in the 20th minute after regaining possession of a blocked shot and quickly sending the ball over the line. 3 minutes later, they found the back of the net again, going up 2-0. After Arian Nagai secured the first goal for the Heels, they tied the game with another goal 2 minutes later. Florida State, however, regained the lead in the 52nd minute, and despite 2 close attempts by UNC and 13 saves by the keeper, Carolina could not overcome the deficit, taking the conference loss 4-2.
In field hockey, the number 2 North Carolina Tar Heels faced number 4 Virginia at Karen Shelton Stadium on Friday night. Sophomore Charlie Bruder shined with a hat trick, her 3rd of the season. The action began in the 2nd quarter when junior Riley Heck scored after a clever play to the far post. Bruder then added 3 goals in the second half on powerful shots off of penalty corners, with assists from Kelly Smith and Katie Dixon. Notably, the Tar Heels defense was exceptional, preventing Virginia from even registering a single shot on goal. With this performance, UNC improves to 13-0 and remains undefeated in the ACC with a 4-0 victory.
And the team carried this momentum into Sunday against Boston College. With time expiring in the first quarter, senior Kelly Smith slammed in her first goal of the season off a penalty corner. 6 minutes later, junior Riley Heck came in after serving a penalty, stole the ball, and found open space and knocked another one in for the Heels. The next 2 goals came in the 4th by senior Yasmina Smolinars and sophomore Sana Hawk. And with impeccable defense, Carolina shut out the Eagles 4-0 on senior day.
All played a really beautiful part in their story, and the story, a large part of the story of our program. And we're happy that we came together, played a good game of hockey, won for them today, and now can celebrate them.
With 2 shutout wins, it was no surprise this was another incredible weekend for the Heels. Let's now go to Sophia's sideline to break down the girls' continued success. Sophia?
Hunter, we had some concerns about Virginia's ACC Defensive Player of the Week, Emily Fields. But our girls dominated at Karen Shelton, overpowering Virginia's defense to not only make goals, but to also prevent the Cavaliers from taking a single shot on goal. And like we talked about on Friday, Charlie Bruder proved her title as 3-time ACC Offensive Player of the Week with some more incredible plays. Let's take a look at one of them. Dixon is going to receive that penalty and set it up for Bruder to take the shot. We're going to see as Bruder takes her swing, she's going to move those hands together as she moves her stick back above those shoulders. Putting her hands together will be essential for Bruder to control the shot, keeping the face pointed toward the goal and allowing the hit to have enough stability, power, and accuracy to fly past the defenders straight into that goal. And this was one of Bruder's 3 goals, meaning she made 3 out of the 4 points for the Tar Heels, putting Bruder at her 3rd hat trick of the season. And on Sunday, the girls had a fight, with Boston College making 5 shots on goal. But it was a senior day worth celebrating, with 4 saves from Abigail Taylor and 1 spectacular save by Kelly Smith that we're going to see right here. The Eagles are going to take their corner, and it's going to look like that ball is going to fly past our keeper into the goal. But no, Smith is on the back line with incredible reflexes, flicking her stick up and shooting that ball away from the goal. And with that save, the Heels have given up only 5 total goals this season, although they have made 56 goals. It's an understatement to say that the girls have been impressive as they approach their final regular season game.
So, Sophia, it was a big game for Kelly Smith on Sunday on the offensive side of things as well.
As a back, Smith doesn't typically get many scoring opportunities, but with an assist from Yasmina Smolnars, she fired a straight shot into the backboard for her first career goal.
What an incredible achievement for one of our Tar Heels. I'm excited to see more on Friday against the Blue Devils in Durham. Thanks, Sophia.
Friday wasn't just a highly anticipated ranked ACC matchup between the Volleyball Heels and Florida State, but also Carolina's annual Dig Pink game. The Heels struggled to gain momentum in the first set with unforced errors from both the service and attacking lines. Middle blocker Corey Lewis was the hot hand for the Seminoles as she targeted holes and delivered daggers. Carolina managed to reset with key plays like this diving save from libero Maddie May to give the Heels the energy they needed to close out the second. The Seminoles took the third, but in the must-win fourth set, the Heels came alive. Carolina stayed focused and rallied back with big plays from Mayberry Schaffmaster and Imani Foster to win the long fourth set and send the match to the tiebreaker. The Heels harnessed that momentum as Chelsea Thorpe delivered the final kill, sealing the deal for a Carolina upset in a 3-2 victory. On Sunday against Miami, the first set was riddled with weak passes, but the team was able to pull through 26-24. In the second, they fell 2 points short, but brought it back with amazing offensive work in the third set, especially from Mayberry Schaffmaster, who totaled 25 kills in the match with this line dagger. In the fourth, the ladies fell short again from Miami blocks, but were able to lock in for the fifth set with kills like this explosive swing from Chelsea Thorpe for yet another Carmichael Arena win. The nationally ranked Tar Heels pulled through and are ready to play Clemson this Friday.
Incredibly proud of this group. I don't have a stat sheet in front of me. I don't want a stat sheet in front of me because it was about all 17 of them. And these guys work so hard every day. I'm proud of them, and I'm thrilled for them that they get to see their effort pay off.
Let's take a deeper look into a very exciting weekend for Carolina volleyball with Passes with Pryor. Bethany?
Kyle, UNC volleyball entered their first ranked match of the season with fire. All 5 sets were nothing short of exciting, but we have to take a look at the Heels' incredible fight in the 4th set. They did a great job adjusting and reading FSU's offense and defense. This allowed for the two teams to go point for point as long as they did. Let's dive into the Heels' incredible ending to the nail-biting set. With this play right here, we're going to see Maddie May is going to be serving right now, and this serve is vital. The Heels are up 33-32. If this serve isn't good, that's going to mean Florida State has the chance to attack. So Maddie May makes a great serve. The pass is not going to be great on Florida State's side, and we have to read their offense. So UNC is reading this right now while the play is going on. They make a decent pass, but we have to realize that they're in a 5-1 offense. That means that there's 5 hitters and 1 setter. So the setter is going to be front row right now, which means we don't have a right side. So that's easier for our block to read. So the setter is going to be pulled off the net, and we know that she has to set the outside. There's no way she's getting to the middle. She doesn't have a right side option, so she's hitting the outside. We're going to see Jackie Taylor right here. You can see she's cheated that way towards the outside because she knows where that ball is going. That allows them to close that block and stuff Florida State's outside for a great play for the Heels. But the Heels continued swinging on Sunday against Miami. Another 5-set match, and Mayberry Schaffmaster dominated with 25 kills. Let's take a look at one of those kills right here. So Mayberry Schaffmaster is a great swing, but we also have Imani Foster on the right side, and we have great middles as well. So we're going to see they're going to have a free ball sent over to UNC, which is a fatal mistake for Miami. That we have a great attack on the front row, so Miami's sending a free ball over, and that's so dangerous because there's a great pass, and the ball's going to go out to Mayberry Schaffmaster with her 25 kills. The block, we're going to take a look at the block right here, and we're going to see what Mayberry Schaffmaster is reading. The line is right here. There is space in between the foot of the right side and the line, which means that Mayberry Schaffmaster is going to be able to send the ball through the block down the line to the setter. She reads that ball really well, and it's a great kill for Mayberry. Carolina absolutely played their hearts out this weekend. If they continue to play this way, they will continue to compete and win against other tough opponents on their schedule.
Bethany, last season was a 500 record for the Heels. What's different about this season?
Kyle, for the past 3 years, UNC has relied solely on Mayberry Schaffmaster to get the ball down. This season, we have multiple players consistently stepping up and getting double-digit kills. Chelsea Thorpe has been a huge player this year with her swing and block. Having great swings from all three positions on the front row is very important, and the Heels have the depth needed to compete with a very competitive ACC.
Fans are excited to see how the Heels continue to play. Thanks, Bethany.
The Carolina men's basketball team was back in action at the Dean Dome on Sunday for their second and final exhibition matchup, taking on Johnson C. Smith. Junior transfer Van Allen Lubin has already made himself at home, scoring 18 points and leading the team with 12 rebounds. He was not alone. Sophomore standout Elliot Cadeau supported him every step of the way, leading the team with 8 assists. The Lubin-Cadeau connection was unstoppable, including back-to-back plays ending with Lubin's powerful slam dunks. This impressive and-one layup from freshman Ian Jackson was only one part of his several power plays as he led the team with 21 points. The Heels wrapped up this exhibition with a 64-point lead, closing it out 127-63.
You know that with this group, there's a number of different lineups that we can play. I think we can go big. I think we can go small. There's a lot of athleticism and versatility out there, and I really think the lineups, in terms of which ones work the best, could be game to game.
Now we have our very own basketball analyst, Spencer Haskell, joining us this morning to talk more about how the Heels are looking after their last matchup yesterday.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. I'm excited to be here.
So Spencer, Johnson C. Smith yesterday, final exhibition going into the regular season. What are your thoughts on the game?
Yeah, no, nothing to take away from Johnson C. Smith, but when the Heels schedule an exhibition game like this, it's not necessarily about what they can do specifically, but more about themes that they're trying to establish across the rest of the season.
Yeah, so Spencer, I know a few UNC fans were worried about the big man depth this coming year. You lose 5-year starter Armando Bacot. I mean, they weren't too active in the portal. So how do you think that's going to work out this season? Would you be going small? Would you be relying on guys like Jalen Washington and Van Allen Lubin? How do you think?
Yeah, no, it's no secret, Hunter. Armando Bacot's not coming through that tunnel anymore, and that's been one of the big question marks coming into the season is, who's going to be that second big man besides Jalen Washington, who's going to get in and get on the boards and get the rebounds. And I think Van Allen Lubin yesterday did a nice job. First man off the bench and the only target to finish with a double-double yesterday. So I was really impressed with him.
Mm-hmm. So you mentioned establishing themes in an exhibition game. One of the themes Hubert Davis has been really hitting all offseason was being the fastest team in the ACC, maybe even the country. Did you see that yesterday?
Yeah, no, exactly like you said, Kyle. Coach Davis has been extremely adamant this offseason about, talking about we want to play fast, we want to get out in transition because that's when he feels like they're at their best. Yesterday, I thought they were fantastic. They outscored Johnson C. Smith 34-0 in fast break points, and that's an improvement from the last exhibition game where they only put up 17 against Memphis. So I thought they did a really nice job of that.
One of my last questions, Spencer. I know we have a really good backcourt coming this year. We have fifth-year senior R.J. Davis. We have guys like Ian Jackson, Drake Powell, Elliot Cadeau. How do you think they're going to look this year?
Yeah, I definitely think there's something to be said, Hunter, about the talented freshmen. Drake Powell was incredibly impressive yesterday with his defensive ability, the block he had, and then no secret, Ian Jackson leading the team in points as a true freshman with 21. So he was extremely impressive, and I'm excited to see, how he's going to fit into the team this year.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. Well, we can't wait for the Heels to start their regular season next week against Elon. Thanks, Spencer.
The UNC women's basketball team hosted Media Day on Friday when head coach Courtney Banghart and the new-look Tar Heels talked about the upcoming season. Carolina welcomes back 7 returning letter winners and 7 who have yet to see action in a UNC uniform, including redshirts Layla Hull and Sierra Toomey, both of whom are slated to make a big impact this season. The team opens the season on November 4th at home against Charleston Southern, returning 4 starters from last season, including preseason All-ACC teamer Alyssa Usby. Last season, the Heels went 20-13, reaching the second round of the NCAA tournament. They were ranked 15th in last week's preseason AP poll, one of 6 ACC schools to make that list.
I don't know who's starting. I don't know how the minutes are going to shake out because we have so many options in such a good way. We have a lot of guys that can shoot it. We have a lot of guys that can handle and facilitate. We have a lot of guys that are two-way players. And so regardless of age, they've been going really hard since June.
There comes a time when all athletes have to hang up their jerseys and start a new chapter. Reporter Cameron Ely tells us about the journey of one former UNC women's basketball star that led her back to the team to make an impact in a different way.
Jayla Murray played on the UNC women's basketball team for 5 seasons as a forward, repping number 30. Her time as a Tar Heel had its ups and downs, from overcoming injury to being named team captain. But overall, it was an experience she won't forget.
So I got here in 2017, so I've been here for about 7, going on 8 years now. Went through a lot during that time, but I had a great experience. I was surrounded by a great community. The fans were great. They're best in the nation. And they helped me through a lot.
After graduating, Murray decided to stay in Chapel Hill, working as a communications intern for the biggest fundraising organization for Carolina athletics.
My first ever job was actually at the Rams Club right down the road. I will cherish that job for the rest of my days because it was like kind of like a wake-up call, but also like, wow, this is like regular life.
Jalen was starting to navigate the non-athlete life. However, she knew she couldn't stay away from Carmichael Arena for too long. Just about a year after graduating, she was offered the position of Assistant Director of Recruiting and Video Operations for UNC Women's Basketball, a role that allowed her to return to the team she always loved in a new way.
It was surreal. I mean, I never knew it would play out the way it did, but I'm kind of glad it did.
One of Jalen's main tasks is to encourage other recruits to join the Carolina legacy.
I do want to make sure that when they get here, like the Southern hospitality is to a T. They feel welcome, they feel like they fit here, and they basically make the Hill home.
Being a member of the coaching staff also gave her a new perspective.
Now, my day-to-day is like, wow, I didn't know how much the staff really put into us as a player. And so now I'm trying to tell the players, like, yeah, I get it, I understand, but listen, we're doing anything and everything to make sure your life and your experience at this university is the best it could be.
Jalen's story proves that no matter if you're on the court or the sidelines, it's your passion for the game that determines the difference you make. I'm Cameron Ely, reporting.
Murray joins the legendary club of a UNC alumni returning to help lead the next generation of Carolina athletes. And who better to lead a Tar Heel than a Tar Heel?
The Tar Heels swim and dive team started the season strong against Auburn on Friday. The team celebrates the returns of Olympians Aranza Vasquez-Montano, Patrick Hussey, and Adam Marana. Montano performed well, taking 4th in the women's 3-meter dive and 1st in the 1-meter dive. Hussey took 1st in the 500 freestyle and helped to clinch victory in the men's 400 freestyle relay. The men's team took home the victory against the Tigers, while the women fell in a close final race. Carolina's swimming and diving faced off against South Carolina on Saturday. The Tar Heels looked to keep momentum going, sweeping 6 races. Marion McCauley won the 400 individual medley by commanding 3.5 seconds, and Patrick Hussey was one of 4 double event individual winners in the 200-meter and 500-meter free. The Heels won 22 of 32 events in a dominant sweep of the Gamecocks.
My challenge to the team this morning was, can you be great? After a hard night of competing last night, and ultimately we did that, and we came back and we were really, really good this morning, and swam really well across the spectrum of all of our events, so I'm really, really proud of our team.
The UNC women's golf team was back in action this weekend in Wilmington for the Landfall Tradition Tournament. Carolina finished the weekend at 1 over par, 3 shots off the lead for a 3rd-place finish. Junior Megan Stryker led the way for the Heels, shooting 3 under par in the weekend, with freshman Helen Young right behind her at 2 under. And the mats were out on Carmichael for wrestling's blue and white scrimmage on Saturday. The team brought in 15 new faces in the offseason, 10 of whom made their debut on Saturday. The showcase allowed new wrestlers to display their skills, such as this takedown by Laird Root. Freshman Nick O'Neal had the crowd on its feet after this takedown on Jace Palmer. The scrimmage ended in a 6-6 draw, and the Heels will head to Salem, Virginia next Saturday for the Southeast Open. UNC fencing traveled to Philly to compete in the Nikki Frank Classic. Junior Nicole Molansky won women's epee, and redshirt senior Sofia Kovacs won women's saber. On the men's side, sophomore John Lynn tied for 3rd in saber.
Monday is back, which means another chance for you to vote for Play of the Week. First, we have this save from women's soccer goalie, should I say, Claire Gagne against Florida State. Gagne used all 6 foot of her height to get up and just tip this shot over the crossbar. This was 1 out of her 13 of her career high saves. Next up is this penalty corner from Karen Shelton Stadium. Charlie Bruder leaves a behind-the-back pass for Yasmina Smolinars, who sweeps it on cage where Kelly Smith tips it through the goalkeeper's legs and into the net. Smith's first career goal and on her senior night. Head to our Instagram stories to vote for this week's Play of the Week, and we'll announce the winning play on Friday.
Carolina club sports are often a chance to try something new, but Navin Diol tells us how one student continued her sport at the highest level.
Before coming to UNC and inspired by her younger brothers, sophomore Delphine Liu picked up Frisbee and hasn't looked back.
My senior year, I decided I was like, I want to be good at this too, both to bond with them, but also just to like get really good at something. Just like getting to play mixed ultimate Frisbee, so like guys and girls, I was like, oh my God, like I'm never not going to do this.
Delphine decided to continue her Frisbee journey here on campus with the varsity team Pleiades, finding both high-level competition and that team bond.
I didn't grow up playing like soccer or like other super big like team sports. I did like fencing, which is like individual, and I would like run on my own. So like being on a team is just like the absolute best thing. I think people really work hard on this team, both academically and like through the sport, and so I think it just becomes part of the team culture to like, you know, try your best at kind of everything.
Recently coming off her first tournament, Delphine is confident she's found her team that'll win a national championship this year.
I think that was the aha moment of like, oh my God, you made the like #1 like collegiate team in the US. You get to play with these really, really talented individuals, and I mean everybody on Pleiades is just honestly super kind and super helpful. A lot of people are super close and are super honest and open with each other, and can really support each other when like somebody's having a bad day. Yeah, it's like the opposite of toxic.
As Pleiades trains for their 5th natty in a row this year, you can catch Delphine and the rest of the team at their next tournament here in Chapel Hill the weekend of November 16th. I'm Navin Diol reporting.
So Kyle, with the Pleiades looking for their 5th national championship in a row, it's looking like our field hockey team has some competition to be the sole UNC dynasty on campus.
Well, Hunter, I don't know if you know this, but since 1977, every 4-year student at UNC has witnessed the Tar Heels at least win 1 national championship during their time in Chapel Hill. So we really are the University of National Champions. That does it for this edition of Sports Extra. What a week.
We'll be back on Friday with a preview of another exciting weekend in Carolina athletics.